Good morning. It's Tina Ann, the Queen of Happiness here at Brewing Happiness. Grab a cup of your favorite coffee, tea, hot cocoa, and let's chat about having a happy day, right? One positive thought in the morning can change everything. Now, on my description, in which I'm going to be changing, it says we're going to talk about doing the unexpected, and two things happened. I realized after I set that as my topic that number one, I just talked about that Friday, however briefly, even though it was a shortened version of the show, and I talked about it Friday. But secondly, on Saturday, I attended the memorial service of a very dear friend of mine. I'm gonna put up my friend Terry McGinty, beautiful, gorgeous girl, just my own age, 2 years older than I am, and metastatic breast cancer took her at, I believe, 64. And well, there's just no words to describe losing a great friend early in life. And secondly, it just reminded me her memorial service was beautiful. The love and outpouring of memories and funny stories and touching moments was uh, uh, heartwarming, delightful, uplifting. I can't say enough great things about that. It truly, truly was a celebration of life and a life well lived. But it made me think about changing my topic today to the idea of, well, this is a giant topic, right? The idea that every day is a gift, that tomorrow is not a guarantee, that our time here is limited. And while some of us have longer than others to live on this life, everybody has an expiration date. And I guess the passing of a close friend makes us think about our own lives and what's important, what we prioritize, what we've done, what we have yet to do, how we're spending the precious minutes of every day as if they were unlimited, as if we had plenty of time to waste, because there's always more of that time stuff coming around the bend. And the truth is, we just don't know that, do we? We just have no idea how much time we have. And so that's my topic for today, is celebrating today, being present, finding the happiness and the joy today, not tomorrow, not when you get the new job, not when not when the house is clean or the relatives come or the relatives go, right? It's about being happy right now, today, no matter what, no matter what's happening around you, you can choose to be happy. And there are a couple of ways to do that. I'm going to talk briefly about that. But the point is, the word here is choose, right? You can make the decision. I'm a quote ho, as they say. I love quotes, and I'm a quote addict. And my all-time favorite quote, I think, is from my favorite president, President Abraham Lincoln, who said, "Most folks are about as happy as they make up their minds to be." And I find this so true. When you say, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to look for ways to be happy. I'm going to remind myself of all the beautiful things going on in my life that help me to be happy. You are going to be happy. If you say to yourself, I'm not happy, I can't be happy, I don't have any reason to be happy, there's no happiness around me, what you see is what you find. What you look for is that's what I meant to say. What you look for is what you'll see. And that tiny little shift in perception, that tiny little shift in, I'm going along, reacting and just being and just accepting whatever comes my way, versus making the decision that I'm going to be happy. I'm going to find the happiness no matter what, right? I am going to choose happiness even when things aren't going my way. You can make this choice. And here's the crazy part about this. Nobody else can make this choice for you. You are the only one. And until you make this choice, until you decide to put happiness as a priority and make the choice that says, yes, I'm choosing happiness for myself every day, today, not someday, not only at those moments when everything is going great, but I'm choosing happiness for myself as a lifestyle. Again, until you do it, ain't nobody gonna do it for you. And you can say, "Oh, ain't nobody got time for that." I love that statement. Ain't nobody got time for that. Um, because it does take a little work. Let's talk about that. Happiness is a habit. It's a skill. It is like a muscle that has to be exercised. Uh, you know, like anything, if you have a great skill, let's say you even have a brain skill, a puzzle skill, a math skill, some sort of cognitive skill. If you don't do it all the time, you are losing your ability. You are losing touch with the things that make you good at it, right? You're losing touch, and then you kind of got to swim your way back to getting good at it again. Well, think of your happiness in the same way, right? Your happiness, if you are paying attention to it, if you are giving it priority, if you are saying, I'm going to be happy today no matter what, then it's going to improve. There's a thing called the Wilson's Law. It's a law in manufacturing process improvement that says anything watched and measured improves without making any other changes, just by watching it, just by taking note of it, you're going to improve it. So once you start thinking about where your happiness is, and you start thinking about your happiness in decision making, right? Your barometer of which direction do you want to take your life? Once you start making that a priority, well, again, a skill to remember to put happiness in the front, right? But now you say that's going to be important to me, and I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to place it in a priority, and I'm going to use that idea. I'm going to come back to that when I'm making hard decisions or when I'm having a bad moment. I've chosen to be happy right now. What can I do? You're declaring to the world. So what do? Not every minute is great. So I'm just going to give you 3 quick tips. 3 quick tips on coming back to happiness. You've made the decision. You're going to work on this. It's not going to be easy the first time. It's going to be like starting a new exercise routine, learning a new dance routine. It's awkward at first. It doesn't feel right. You have to do it 10 times, 12 times, 21 times before it starts feeling natural. But it's worth it. Okay, 3 things. First one is gratitude. Get you a gratitude journal. You can keep a physical gratitude journal by your bed, write it on at night. Little card you keep, little maybe it's a little pocket notebook that you want to keep in your purse with you. Or I've been exploring happiness apps. There are some happiness apps out there, and a couple of them give you an opportunity, a place to record your gratitude. Think of 3 things. Every time you're having a bad moment, think of, if you want to keep track of it, physically, it's okay. You can still use gratitude. Gratitude is proven to be the number 1 thing that makes us happy. Remembering our blessings, being grateful and happy with what we have. Unhappiness draws a line, correlates directly to focusing on what we don't have, right? On focusing on the want, the space, the need. Happiness, again, a direct correlation to focusing on the good, the existing, the present. So be grateful. Gratitude is what fills up the bank and allows you to let things go. Allows you to say, that person being rude to me, well, that was more about him than me. Oh, that person that cut me off in traffic, it's okay. I'm not in a hurry. What do I care? Takes me an extra 3 seconds. Having a beautiful life and acknowledging all the blessings in that life gives you the confidence and the capacity to say, I don't need to engage on this. I'm going to let this go. And those are the beginnings of happiness, right? So that's number 1. The number 1 tip for happiness is be grateful. Gratitude. I've done so much research on the science behind happiness. What are we used to only study pathologies, what negativities, what things do wrong. And in the last 20, 30, 40 years, there's been a growing movement to study what happy people are doing. What are they doing right? We study the commonalities of successful people all the time. And now they're starting to document and store data and comment on the commonalities, the behaviors, the ways that happy people are happy. And I've seen multiple lists. Oh, there's all kinds of lists. And there are a few things that show up on every single list. And number one is gratitude. The number one way that we are happy, or the number one thing on the list of things that make us happy is having a large and expansive gratitude process. Can't just say, okay, I'm going to be grateful. That's great. What are you going to do about it? How are you documenting, or how are you making sure you're checking in with your gratitude more than one time a day? Could be maybe you set an app on your phone. Maybe you set a timer on your phone that says gratitude time. Maybe you do it at 10 a.m. every morning. Maybe you do it before you go to bed each night and when you first wake up in the morning. It doesn't matter. You work out what's good for you, but you put it on the calendar. You make an appointment. You set time for it, because just as if it were the most important thing in your day. Now, another thing that helps me with happiness is remembering that happiness is not ecstasy. Happiness and living a happy life does not mean you are in the zone all the time, because that is, well, not reality, is it? And even enjoyment. Eckhart Tolle uses a definition of happiness that I like: 3 levels of happiness: ecstasy, the zone. This is where we are so blissful we can, we're in connection with source. Standing on the top of a mountain, momentous moments, getting married, moments like that. Those are. And there's enjoyment. That's us right now, having a conversation, talking with friends, doing things we enjoy. Life is good, nothing to worry about. And then there's acceptance, because again, no one gets to be blissful, or hardly anyone. Most of us are not evolved enough to be blissful in every moment. And there are times when things don't go our way, when someone's being negative with us, when we've made a mistake that we need to correct, when there's just stuff going on around us that's unpleasant. Other people fighting make me nervous. So those are the moments that you're challenged to be happy in, right? Ecstasy, enjoyment, not much effort. You're there. You do it without much effort. But it's in those moments when maybe family members are screaming at each other, or you got a mess at work that you got to clean up, or whatever it is. Maybe someone has said something unpleasant to you, or maybe someone has hurt your feelings, or you've lost. No end to the situations in life that cause us to. No end to the situations in life that cause us to need this little exercise, right? Anyway, the third level of happiness is acceptance. That you can look around. This goes back to gratitude. Number one, even though gratitude is a list of 3 things, it is more than just 1/3 of the answer, because it appears in the other answers. Anyway, you have the gratitude of a beautiful life, to let things go, to accept the chaos going on around you and say, my beautiful life, I can endure this. It's gonna, this too shall pass. I will be able to work this out. I don't have to, maybe not enjoying this moment, but I'm gonna be okay. So you think about those 3 levels, and when you get into a little trouble, think, where am I? Can I at least be acceptance? When you get down into rage, or resentment, anger, unhappiness, sadness, depression, vindictiveness, now you are below acceptance, my friend. You are not in the happiness zone anymore. You have drifted below. And for me, I kind of like see that imaginary lines, and it helps me say to myself, I can accept this, because I don't want to go below that line. I know there's trouble below that line, and I'm not going there. So that's number 2. And then the number 3 is, again, an element that shows up in all kinds of lists about positive thinking, feeling better, being confident, having courage. Everything I talk about, this appears on it. And that is breathing. That is that you have the opportunity to reset, right? Momentum is a real thing, and we all get caught up in a spiral of emotions, of activities, of scenarios, until we don't know what to do with ourselves, and we feel overwhelmed. And if you can have the wherewithal and the presence of mind to stop and take a few deep breaths, Sounds goofy, doesn't it? Sounds silly. Well, how can breathing possibly change anything? Well, here it is. Deep breathing. Our systems are our organs, our systems, they're all connected. Everything's connected, right? Deep breathing is a reset mechanism. We have two main ways of acting through our sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system is our survival mode, fight or flight, angst, stress, danger, anything brings this on, fight or flight. Parasympathetic nervous system is our rest and digest system. This is where we can afford to be objective, where we have the ability to take these deep breaths and be objective. Move your thinking from your monkey brain survival reaction mode to your intellect conscious decision making mode, right? I think I did those on the wrong sides, but that's okay. Can change everything, can change how you feel, how you think, how you decide, how you act, right? So as you start to find your moment and you have dipped, you find yourself dipping below acceptance, right? You find yourself dipping into those unhappy emotions, sadness, resentment, anger, disappointment. That list goes on, right? You stop and take those 3 to 5 really deep breaths. I use a couple different patterns: in 4, rest 2, out 6, or you can breathe in 5, hold, and out 5. You can go online, look up YouTube, and find no end to the breathing exercises out there, and find one that works for you. But deep breathing, literally just taking in deep breaths, filling your belly, breathing in through your diaphragm, put your hand on your belly, feel your belly expand as you breathe in, feel it contract as you push the air out. When it comes to pushing, keep pushing longer than you think you can breathe out. Actually, the secret pro tip, the real power in breathing is in the exhale. Anyway, do this. Do it 5 times. If you can excuse yourself, do it in the middle of chaos, right? If not, you can do it right in the middle of everything. You just do it while everybody's talking around you. And this is a reset that moves you from sympathetic to parasympathetic, from fight or flight, gut reaction, primitive monkey brain, to objective observer. This is the life I want to lead. This is the person I want to be. This is the action I want people to see from me. And you get to make that choice by taking those deep breaths. So, happiness. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it, that happiness is not something you look forward to. It's not something you work for. Work at, yes. But it's not something that you're going to find. It's not even something you're going to create. It's just something you're going to decide on. And so I will end with a short poem. It's been a while. Well, I don't read poems every day, but, I like it. Hold on one second. It's either put on my glasses or enlarge the size. So I'm going with enlarging the size. Thank you for bearing with me for just a second here. Okay, here we go. This is called Today. Amazing things are happening all around you in every breath you take. The opportunity to begin and complete the cycle of joy, gratitude, forgiveness, acceptance, love. When it is not required, not requested, not deserved, even when it is not returned. Lead with love in every exchange, in every thought, in every action. Forgive everyone, everything. Expect life to be full of surprises, challenges, disruptions. Celebrate the moments of tenderness, of beauty, of clarity, when you are free to simply be who you are. Honestly, it's one of the 2 or 3 non-rhyming poems I've ever written in my life. So, if you are on the replay, leave me a note that you stopped by. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to have a copy of the poem, send me a DM. I'll send you a copy. Anyway, until tomorrow, make it a happy. Oh, and one last thing, just if anybody cares, is I have a house guest the next 10 days, and so we'll be broadcasting from an undisclosed location. Anyway, Until tomorrow, make it a happy day. Oh, that's not what I want to do.